Hello and welcome back to another Britain's Hidden History with me, Ross Broadstock. And today it's actually a bit more like Irish history with some Welsh involved as well, because we're talking about St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, and where he was born. And he does seem to be born in South Wales, as verified in this book. We'll go into future videos about why it's this particular Patrick. Other people have suggested other Patricks might be the patron saint, but they come way too late, and there's loads of reasons why it can't be them, and it is this one, and I'll do that another time. But for now, we're going to go into his early life and where he started out. So last time, we heard about this King Niall and how important he was as a major force in Ireland, major king. Now, page 11. King Niall's death, AD 406, was a crisis in Irish history, as his son was opposed by Calpurnius, which did indeed have a dramatic influence on his future destiny and actions. A fleet of explorers, most likely Irish, raided Old Wales seeking plunder and taking captives as slaves. St. Patrick was a youth at the coastal college of Llanelli, now Llantwit Major, and he fled inland to his home at Bonaventum, now Cowbridge, to try to escape from the Irish. Now, I'll show all these places on a map when I finish the reading. All right, short reading. I'll get the map, Cowbridge, Bonaventum, all these places to on. The key thing here is Llanelli, the Church of Illtyd. Illtyd was the cousin of Arthur, the famous King Arthur, right? The one who said not to exist. This is his cousin. This monastery and college goes back as early as the 1st century after the crucifixion, all right? This could be the earliest monastery and college in Western Christianity. And it had a very important, very different kind of Christianity to the one which came a few hundred years later when Constantine converted or took the Roman Church towards its form of Christianity and the Council of Nicaea and all those things. The original British Christianity was very different. It was what's called apostolic, whereby you have a teacher and a group, and you teach on a very even level, and when the people in the group are ready, they go off and start their own groups, and it multiplies from there. They taught very much of eternal soul and your own personal responsibility to look after your soul and use your life to improve your knowledge and be learning to do spiritually good things, and then as a form of reincarnation where your soul will come back in a better place. A little bit, very similar in many ways to Buddhism, whereas the Roman version of Christianity, which came a few hundred years later, was very much a hierarchical church. You had the Pontifex Maximus, it didn't have a pope as such back in those days, but what became the pope? You had this pinnacle, this sort of God's vicar on earth, and then below that, cardinals and bishops and archbishops, all the way down, and these people interceded on your behalf. And then the whole idea of penitence, perjury, sin, and all these kind of things, original sin, they're all much later Roman ideas, very different to the British original ideas. So there's been this constant conflict between the two. And what makes the story of Patrick so interesting is that he came from the college in, Llanelli, where he would have learnt about British-style Christianity. And yet, at some point, he has rejected this, and he's left that place, or they've thrown him out. He's been taken to Ireland, and he has adopted the Roman version of Christianity, and that is what he has brought to Ireland, and Ireland was staunchly Catholic ever since. Recent times, apparently that falling apart. But traditionally it's been a 100% Catholic country. And this division between the sort of Roman Church and British or Protestant type church has been the root of problems ever since. And where this book is fascinating goes into the politics of why Patrick went with the Roman route and why the Irish kings were prepared to accept that and convert to that, as opposed to the British Christianity of their neighbours. All right, so a bit of a detour there, but I think it's helpful to know what this book is all about, or what I see it as all about. It's a personal view. Right, sorry, I'm trouble with the glasses here. So we look at this place then. He hid up in a tree, probably now at Tir Onan, or the Three Ash Trees, but he was spotted by the Irish and forced to descend. So Patrick was taken away from Glamorgan to become a slave in Ireland. It is recorded that they spared his life when he spoke in the old Irish Gaelic tongue, a gift from his mother. And as Barham always likes to emphasise when I talk to him about this, he sees Patrick as Irish. He may have been born in Wales, he may even have had a Welsh father, but as he says, if a dog is born in a stable, it does not make it a horse. All right, and he's very strong about this. This is his view, okay? He's still Irish. As he says here, St. Patrick finally became totally Irish as those who had captured him. It is said that Patrick regarded Ireland as going out to the ultimate places on earth. This may be a statement of praise, but he may also have considered that there is nothing but the Atlantic Ocean out to the west of Ireland. Tradition has it that the pirate ships returned to the shores of Connaught, where Patrick became a slave tending flocks of sheep, serving his new master in that ultimate western land. Tradition holds the wood of Fochland, F-O-C-H, is where he was kept in the northwest of Connaught. This country belonged to Amolnagaid, the king of Connaught, and to this day it is known as Tiroli, or the land of Amolnagaid. Legend has it that Patrick had a 6 to 7 year slave apprenticeship. It is recorded and believed that Patrick served a master named as Miliucci. That's an Irish name, I don't know. Miliuce. So I don't know how to start on that one. Miliucci. Sounds Italian when I say it. In northern Dalradia. Patrick's chores were mainly herding and guarding the flocks of sheep, also looking after farm animals in the valley of Braid. Perhaps the scope of this research will be best understood if it is explained that the subject centres around no great era or crisis in the history of Ireland, but in the first place as an appendix in the history of the Roman Empire that illustrates limitations of its influence beyond the frontiers, and secondly as a noticeable episode of a series of conversions to Christianity which was spreading over northern and western Europe. And what he's saying is that as the Roman military influence started to decline and the legions couldn't do their job and everything started to break up and a new form of Europe was formed, religious influence replaced this military strength. So study of the work of the Slavonic apostles, Cyril and Methodius, and to compare them with others like Orliphallus and Augustine and Boniface and Otto of Bamberg and others makes matters fairly clear. Paradoxically, when St. Patrick is approached, he has thus been virtually impossible to gain any clear conception of the man and his works. Impossible, that is, before this book comes along. Unless, according to the stock genes of Patrick, you could look something like this. You might recognise this person. Very saintly. Right, so anyway, so what I'm going to try and do now, if we can get over some technical issues here, is I'm going to leap over and give you an idea. Just make sure that's come up on your screen. Hang on. Oops, sorry. Slight delay there. Yep, here we go. Okay, right, so here we are. This is sort of the Bulls, South Wales. This is the Severn Estuary. There's Cardiff, Bridgend. There's the M4 corridor, as it's called. You can see the M4, the main east-west highway. And it still is. Although previously, the slightly more direct route, if you look at it, actually would have come down through Cowbridge into Cardiff there. And this is still called the Cowbridge Road. Major junction. Now, Barham's talking very much about Cowbridge here. Can I scan out so get it all on the screen? I hope so. There's Llantydd Major underneath this little satellite box picture. Hang on. Llantydd Major, or Llanilltyd Fawr. Llanilltyd, Church of Illtyd, has been translated to Church of the Twit, which isn't very nice. So there you go. So that's that area. And Cowbridge, and when I'm looking at it, you'll see that this place there, Tair Onen, is actually near a Bonvilston. But these are only a few miles apart, these places, okay? It's not like it's... sorry, my phone keeps going bleep, bleep, bleep. I should have turned it off. So we'll just find... I think it's spelled slightly different in... yeah, it's Tair Onen on here. Okay, go on. There we are. Tair Onen. So you have a little look around there. Look, it's really wonderful what you can do with. Hang on, let's get a zip in, shall we? Isn't it wonderful you can do in modern technology? So here's Tyrone, the place of the 3 ash trees, and it's still fairly rural around here. It's very nice, very elegant part of the Vale of Glamorgan, the posh bits, if you like. So there's this place called Tyrone, which I'm guessing most people have never even heard of. Because I mean, Bonville's is small enough. Cowbridge is quite a significant town, and that's really just a stop on the A48. So there you go. This is so where he's actually born there, I think that makes sense to me, and he was running home. But where he got his training, down on the coast here, Atlantic Vour, as you call it, Atlantic Major, so we don't get the names on this bit. It's around there anyway. Oh, there you go. I was bang on. That's a relief. So, well worth a visit. And if you look on the videos, you'll see I've already done some videos talking about Atlantic Vour. And you can see there's some of the old engraved stones with the old Welsh writing are there. They're held in the church. It's a very ancient church. And they do talk about They talk about the sort of fairy tales about him, like going a coracle to France and all sorts of weird stuff. But there was a historical character, and it really would be nice to see more of the history presented there, rather than just the sort of fairy tales. And right, so we have more on Patrick coming up. This book is available, very reasonably priced. Go to cumbernautoglyphics.com and order a copy. Help keep Britain's hidden history movement going. Keep Patrick happy, and you get a very good book, which I'm sure that you will enjoy, because the second half is quite an adventure to read about. So, hang on a second. I will try and do this properly. So, thanks again for watching and the continued support. There is Patreon. Number of people supporting is growing. And don't forget, live show every Sunday. Loads going on at 8 o'clock UK time, Sunday evening. Hope you can join us for that. And be more videos on this and other subjects soon. So, till the next time, peace be with you. Heddwch.